your perspective on the play Bennett made to end up knocking Stolarz out of the game last night?
I think we know that they're going to come hard to the net. I don't think that's any surprise. It happens fast, obviously, and when you're out there on the ice, you don't really know what happens right in the moment. But overall, we know that they're going to play a hard game, and we just need to continue to match that intensity and go hard at their own net.
What's the balance between retaliating, if you want to, and staying out of the penalty box?
I think we've had the objective all along since the beginning of the series, since the beginning of the playoffs, to play hard in between the whistles, and that's what we're going to continue to do. That's our job. We don't want to get into the nitty-gritty after the whistles and things like that to have penalties, and I think we did a good job of managing that for the most part and have throughout this playoff. So that's the goal, is to continue to play hard between the whistles and then let them do the antics afterwards.
What's your sense of how Anthony is holding up? I don't know if you had a chance to speak with him or see him.
Yeah, I think he's doing well. I'll allow Coach to give any updates on that. But overall, I like the way that he looked this morning when I got to see him for a smile at breakfast. So that's always a good thing.
Brandon, you had a chance to play these guys the last two playoffs. How much did that acclimatize you to what they're going to try to do, especially near your net?
Yeah, like I said, we kind of know their game. It's pretty straightforward. They're going to play hard. They're going to run a lot of pucks in, get behind you. And I think we're doing a good job of sticking to our game plan. I think we just need to continue to focus on our process and what we're doing, not so much them, and that'll help us to, have the most success that we can.
Sam Bennett took Matthew Nyes out 2 years ago. Marchand, you saw close, was taken out last year, and we saw what happened yesterday. What's his reputation around the league?
For me personally, I just think that he's a player who plays really hard on both sides of the puck. I have respect for that. I've had teammates like that as well, and those are guys that you want on your team. But overall, I think you got to be just careful in a way to know that those things are going to be happening along the ice. And I've seen it with some of my teammates and whatnot, and it's obviously not fun, but I'll never not respect a guy for playing the game hard, just so long as he's doing it in a clean fashion.
Any frustration that the league, no supplemental doesn't count for Sam, or any surprise there? Or what's the feeling of the league?
Honestly, I think that we're just focused on our mission right now, allowing the league to do what they need to do, the referees to do what they need to do, and everything aside from that is kind of out of our control. So that's been my focus throughout the playoffs, is controlling what we can control, and we're going to just continue to try and do that going forward.
Brandon, what do you think of the way that Pacioretty's come back into the lineup, made an impact here, especially in the past couple games?
Yeah, awesome. Obviously, Game 6 in Ottawa with that big goal, but his physical presence on the ice has been fantastic. He's had some big hits, plays a very hard game. I played against him, and he's not a fun guy to play against, so I love his game and, just his leadership as well.
What do you make of the way Morgan is elevating in the playoffs and scoring all these goals?
Yeah, it's awesome. You can see him getting up in the rush a lot. I love it. I'm trying to encourage him to do so because he's putting it behind the goalie, so it's been a lot of fun playing with Mo, and I love his game, so I hope he continues to do it, and hopefully we can continue to do the same things.
We're not sure about Anthony's status going forward, but what have you seen from Joe since he's come over? You also played against him and just really had to step in last night.
For sure. Joe's awesome. I feel like we're very we got some great riches here with having two goalies as good as they are. His poise within the net behind us has been a great thing, and as a defensive guy, I love playing in front of both of them. So I think Joe can definitely handle anything that's thrown at him, and even for being a young guy, I have a lot of respect for the way that he approaches the game.
Did you see that elbow in real time?
Did I?
Did you see the elbow in real time?
No. I was focused kind of on the puck, not allowing it to go to the back door to the best of my ability, and and then afterwards I saw Stoli kind of laying there, so didn't really know what happened. But yeah, like I said, everything happens really fast.
Where does that first period rank in terms of playing the Leafs way, like especially last night?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought we came out with a lot of good juice. I thought we were playing the right way, doing the right things to, mitigate their game. They're going to be in your face a lot. Our forwards are doing a fantastic job getting pucks out of the zone, playing behind them, and then as well coming back into our zone. So I really liked our first period yesterday, and hopefully we can kind of start every game like that.
How much is Stoli addressing your guys? How much is Stoli dressing room presence and the bench and everything else being so vocal?
For sure. Absolutely, he's great. In the room, he's a great guy. A lot of the guys love hanging around him. That's something I've recognized from my short period of time here. But on the ice, I love his communication as well. You can definitely hear his voice well. If I miss a guy coming around the net and he's coming on the back door, Stoli will let you know, and you can hear his voice well in that regard. So that's one of the biggest keys that I've learned from older guys along my route here is just communication on the ice. So I love when we can continue to do that, and we'll all just be loud out there.
Max, what was your perspective on the Bennett play that knocked Anthony out of the game?
Yeah, I didn't see it until much later after the game, and you know what, it happened. It's we're focused on our group in here and sticking together, and we knew that there would be a lot of emotions in this series, and there certainly was for Game 1. And we have to play with emotions, but we also have to be smart about it. And this group has stuck together and stood up for one another and played for one another all year. And this is going to be another example of that.
You've been in the league the whole time. Sam Bennett's been in the league. What's his reputation around the league as a player?
He's an emotional player that plays hard. And, you know, when players like that, they normally flirt with the line in terms of crossing it or playing right on that line all the time. And it's what makes players like that good at their job.
In your experience, how do you find that line between sticking up for teammates but not crossing it and getting into pure retaliation and maybe doing something reckless?
Right. A lot has been made of like the physicality and how physical Florida plays, but we feel like we have a group in here that can play a similar style and doesn't always have to be the biggest hit, but we got to make life hard on their guys. And there were times in that game where we felt like we did a good job of it. Probably our game gets away from how we want to play when we get away from that. So got to make sure we keep playing on our toes, keep playing physical, and make life difficult, especially on their defensemen.
It's pretty scary the way that
there's no supplemental discipline, like it's Bennett have a target on his back now, kind of thing.
We can't control that. We can only worry about what we can control as individuals and as a team. And we always want to stick up for one another and stick together and do it the right way. And not every opportunity presents the same way when it comes to that. Given, the score of the game or the series or how the game's going. And I have a lot of faith in this group that we always find a way to stick together and stick up for one another the right way.
Pretty scary the way Anthony left the game. Like, I'm not sure if you had a chance to see him. Like, any
I didn't. To be honest, I couldn't really understand what was going on in the moment. And guys, I think were pretty dialed in, and no one was really, talking about the details of it. We knew that it's a very difficult situation for Wooler to go in there, so we're trying to do the best that we can to support him, and I thought he did a great job in doing so.
You're in a good spot with your game right now. Do you figure coming back and making an impact you have the past couple of games?
Yeah, we spoke about the physicality and playing bigger teams, and I think that's when I can slot in and help the team and the line in that area. And I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm trying to get the puck to two of the best players on the planet as much as I can, and make life a little bit easier on them and harder on the opponent. And at this stage, I know what's effective, and that's give them the puck.
So what have you made of the way Matt Nyes has played through these playoffs?
Obviously, the physicality, the skill, the ability to score big goals, but I think the mentality and the timeliness of those plays and those goals and understanding in the playoffs, playing to the flow of the game, the scoreboard, the time, and obviously, the timing of that goal last night was massive for our group, and you don't often see young guys kind of have that understanding of what it takes to win, especially in the playoffs at this stage of their career, but he certainly has it.
Nylander has a kind of track record of dealing with the pressure well, not letting anything bother him. What's been your perspective on how he's maybe elevated in these last couple of games here?
Yeah, he's a guy, I would hate to, I don't know about his golf game, but I would hate to bet against him in golf because he seems like he would never miss a small putt. So he's got ice in his veins. He's sometimes in the playoffs after a good game like he had in Game 6, it's easy to kind of sit back and say, I'm good here for a little bit. But he comes out and scores 30 seconds in for a shot of the game, and it kind of shows how clutch he is and how well he's able to perform under pressure.
Okay, what was your perspective on Bennett hit on Anthony that knocked him out of the game?
Yeah, unfortunate. Obviously, tough senior starting goaltender leave the ice, but seeing Joe hop over the bench, we got all the confidence in the world in him. So tough spot for him, but he did an awesome job.
How surprising that there was no supplementary discipline on Bennett.
It's not my job to rule on those things. I just focus on the game tomorrow.
What's the key to defending Bennett moving forward here?
Just like I've been defending him his whole career, just play him hard, and I know he's got a good forecheck presence, and just play hard between the whistles.
What's his reputation around the league, Jake?
Hard-nosed player, obviously won last year, so their whole group, they work hard, they forecheck hard, so that's what we got to get ready for game two.
Not the first time Will's come in midway through a series. What did you notice the other times he's done and how he's reacted to this situation?
Sorry, say that again?
Well, this isn't new for him. He's come in. You've seen him the last couple of playoffs, mid-series come in. What have you noticed about how he's reacted to this?
Yeah, super calm back there. We got, like I said, we got all the confidence in the world all year long. No matter who's in the back of in the net back there, did a great job. Dennis coming in, Murray coming in this year too. So we got a great depth at that position. So it was good to see Stolle here this morning.
How big was discipline last night and going forward? Team discipline.
Yeah, it's going to continue to be a huge thing. I think special teams are obviously a huge part of the postseason, and winning that penalty advantage and getting your team on the power play more than the other team is obviously important. And they scored one on the power play, we didn't. So there you go, right there is a good example of why we need to continue to stay out of the box and try to provide ourselves opportunities to put them in the box.
What do you think of the way that Pacioretty's come back in and made a nice impact for you guys here?
Yeah, not surprised. Patch has obviously been around for a while and played in some high-pressure situations, and obviously scored a big goal for us in round one. And last night was a presence on the score sheet as well, as just honestly through forechecking and skating and hard work. So, no surprise there from Pat.
What's the big you take away from that game, do you think?
Loved our start. Coming out on home ice, I thought we took it to him in the first and the second. And obviously got on our heels a bit in the third, but we got the job done, and now we're focused on game two here and make adjustments that we need to.
Any sense how Anthony's holding up? Obviously, tough situation.
I haven't talked to him yet, so like I said, it was good to see him walking around.
What do you make of how Nyes, as a young guy in the league, finds a way to elevate in these moments?
Yeah, Nyes, he's so powerful, he's so strong, such a great skater for his size as well, and he's a handful.
Obviously, so scary with the way Anthony left last night. What's your sense of how he's doing today?
He's doing well. Yeah, he's here, doing good. So, yeah.
Will they be available tomorrow night?
We'll see.
Did he have a
Don't
concussion?
know that yet.
Concussion?
Don't know that either.
Did he go to hospital?
Yeah.
How
Get
long was he-
evaluated.
Yeah. How long was he in hospital for?
I don't know. I'll call the doctor today and ask him. I don't know.
The league has decided not to.
I've moved on from it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. It's over.
What's about Max Pacioretty to come in and make the impact that he has, Chris?
Well, Max has been he's had a pretty good career, as a player. Kind of all facets, like, scoring goals and big, strong guy. Like, he's physical and has the ability to make plays and put the puck in the net at the same time. So, he's been, like I said, he's been a good National Hockey League player for a long time, and he's playing some good hockey for us right now.
I just want you coming in off.
Oh, well, I think, he's had a tough, couple of years going back with injuries and things like that. But, I think just his dedication when he is injured and working and getting back and doing the things he did. And, the work he put in on the ice with the people here in the organization when he was out, that gives him the opportunity to come back and play good hockey.
How do you want your guys to handle Bennett moving forward here? Because I imagine he'll continue to go to the net the way he
Play
does.
hockey.
Yeah.
We got to play hard and physical, and they do what they do. And again, that's up to the refs in the league. It's not, we're going to be disciplined.
You moved on from it, but retribution is part of this sport. It can be. What do you talk to your players about this, or?
Well, I talk to my players about focusing on the game and playing the game hard and playing it the right way. Like I said, there's an opportunity to take the body on somebody. I don't care who it is. You go through them, but you can't just you're going to go out and you think you're going to get back at Bennett and you end up in the penalty box, and we don't need that. But it's the focus is we got to focus on the game, okay, and playing the game the way we need to play it, and that's got to be the focus.
How about Joe? What's your faith in him right now?
Well, you've seen him this year. Played a lot of good games, a lot of good hockey for us this year. Stoley was out for 2 months? I don't know. I can't remember the timeline, but he was in there holding the fort for us. We got a ton of faith in him.
Just in your perspective on how he's handled, there's a long time between starts. I know you're focused on the guys who are in there, but what have you noticed?
He's a worker. The one thing about Woolsey is very dedicated to what he's doing, and off the ice and on the ice. He's one of the most dedicated guys I've been around in that aspect, and like I said, he works at his game constantly. So, and great teammate. Really, he's a great teammate and does what he needs to do to be ready to play.
Pacioretty leading the team. It's what changed, if anything, in the way he plays the game since he came back from his injury?
I think he was doing that before his injury. He was a very physical player for us, and he's one of the guys that he gets on the forecheck and understands what we want in our system, and he goes through people.
How close was that first period to exactly the way you guys were?
Well, it was a good period. I thought we were very aggressive on our toes. If you look at the gaps and the reloads by our guys, that's crucial. And just getting pucks to the net, and attacking. So, like I said, I kind of backed off a little bit too much later on. But the start of the game in the first period was very good.
What did you see on the power play, Craig, last night? Is there anything that he needs to change there?
Yeah, there's always things that we want to do a little bit better, or after watching, and we know how their penalty kill works. It's highly aggressive, and it's about doing things quickly and passing the puck quickly, like moving it and getting it to the net. If you think that you're going to come up with other ideas, it's not going to work. So you have an aggressive PK like that, you gotta move the puck quick and you gotta shoot. Got to move the puck quick, you got to shoot, and then when there's scrums and things like that, and you got to attack off them because they're out of position. And we did a few things like that where it was good. And we had some good looks, but it didn't go in, and we got to look at it, and we'll be better.
You talked about not concentrating on retribution. How much has that changed from the culture and mindset of the days when you played?
When I played, that would have been, somebody would have did something right away. Probably me, if I was out there.
On the power play, adding Morgan in the last one, was that a safety?
Yeah, you're up by a goal, and that's always been in the plan. It's all a feel thing, and it's designed that way. Yeah.
So are you preparing for Wall to start tomorrow, or is there still a chance that Solars will play?
Yeah, I don't know that yet. Yeah.
Will you find out this morning?
No, I'll probably find out today at some point. I'm not sure yet.
Did you learn anything about championship pedigree? What do you expect?
What's that?
Panthers have that championship pedigree. You know what that pedigree is like from your St. Louis days. What do you expect from them to come back after it?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough game. We know that. It's going to be a tougher game than the first game. That's the Senators after game one Second game is a lot tougher. That's what I expect. It's going to be hard, physical game. They play the way they play. They're not changing anything. So, and we know that.